A lot of people are talking about which jobs AI will or will not take. My name is Chris. I'm an English tutor and coach. I've worked with over 1,000 international professionals from new graduates all the way up to CEOs and government leaders to help them to improve the way that they communicate in English at work. And I don't think that AI can replace English teachers on the internet, and especially not English coaches like me. So, here are four reasons that hiring a real person to help you to improve your English is better than using AI. Also, because we want this to be an English lesson and educational, I'll put definitions on the screen over here for any interesting or challenging vocabulary that I use. Okay, let's get started. And number one, human tutors and coaches are able to prioritize feedback and give more nuanced advice. So, AI can definitely give you feedback on your speaking. However, right now, it's not very good at it. For instance, if a native Russian speaker says this sentence, I was in meeting yesterday and my manager told that I'm doing a great job. I was in meeting yesterday and my manager told that I'm doing a great job. Now, there are two mistakes in this sentence. I wonder if you can see them. The first is the missing article before meeting. Meeting is a singular countable noun, and therefore, in this context, it needs the indefinite article. That's a or a in front of it. The second mistake is that after told, we need the person or thing receiving the information. Who did your manager tell? Did they tell you? Or did they tell the whole team? There's a big difference in meaning here, and it changes how, as the listener, I understand the sentence. It changes the story that you're telling me. The other thing about this mistake is that it's really specific. There's a really specific rule that we can explain for how you can fix this mistake. So, I've got two reasons to emphasize the importance of this mistake. One, it really does change the story and change what you're telling me. And two, it's a really easy one to communicate. And because it's really specific, that makes it a great one to work on. If you can really understand the very specific mistake that you're making, you can work on not making this mistake in the future. However, an AI likely won't prioritize this second mistake. It will probably give equal importance to both. If you're a native Russian speaker or a native speaker of most Slavic languages, then you probably know that you have problems with articles. You'll be working on this grammar point for many years, and it also rarely causes problems with understanding. If I spent every session I do with every native Slavic language speaker just talking about articles, we'd never get anything done. And they're important, sure, but I prefer to focus on things that really cause problems with communication. Because we focus on communication and your ability to transfer ideas from your head to your listener, we probably wouldn't spend much time on this mistake. This decision making process of what to prioritize is something I'm doing constantly through the coaching sessions that I do. And from the feedback that I've seen AI give, it's not something that AI can do. A similar point is that AI, in my experience, is terrible at noticing when you've corrected yourself. For instance, if you say, I congratulated my sister on her promotion. I congratulated my sister on her promotion. If you say something like this in a session with me, then I understand that you've corrected yourself. In fact, this is a great thing. Well done. You found the correct word. However, the AI feedback that I've seen simply tells you using her is incorrect. Don't use his and her next to each other. This isn't useful feedback. So, AI lacks nuance and the ability to prioritize feedback. My second point is a question. How do you know that the vocabulary, grammar tips, and corrections that you are getting from your AI are correct? There are more examples every single day of AI confidently giving wrong answers to questions. For instance, just ask your AI how many letter R's are in the word strawberry. I think they still struggle with that one. A human is able to give you their experience of the language in the real world. They're able to know when a word is technically correct, but also maybe old fashioned and not commonly used. Incidentally, in my coaching sessions, we often research the vocabulary that we find that is new to you. We look at examples from movies and TV shows and look at the frequency of a word over time. For instance, an AI might tell you that rarely and seldom are both great ways to say that you don't do something very often. However, I haven't yet seen an AI tell you that the word seldom is on the decline. In fact, we're using it less than ever, whereas rarely is increasing in popularity. Given that I do this full time, I spend about 6 hours a day on calls with people talking about English and communication. I can also tell you that seldom is a word generally overused by Mandarin and Cantonese speakers. I think there's just a textbook somewhere over there that is suggesting the word seldom because, yeah, if you're using that word, I'm guessing you're a native Mandarin or Cantonese speaker. This is just a level of insight that an AI probably couldn't give you. And of course, if you want to make sure that the feedback and communication advice that you are getting is correct, nuanced, and really going to have a big impact on the quality of your work and your communication, then maybe we can work together. My full time job is helping international professionals who use English at work to improve their communication skills. So, if you need English to do your job, but you don't speak it natively, then I would love to meet you. If you'd like to book some time to meet with me through one-to-one video calls, just you and me, then you can go to breakoutbusinessenglish.com. That's the title of the YouTube channel, breakoutbusinessenglish.com, and find out more. Starting on our first call, we can focus on the specific opportunities that you personally have to improve your English and communication skills, and the mistakes that you make most often or cause the biggest problems with your communication. And right now, you can use the code YouTube30, that's YouTube30, at checkout to get a 30% discount off your first booking of 30, 45, or 60 minutes, whichever is best for you. Sometimes my calendar gets a little busy, so if you have trouble finding a time that works for you, then you can feel free to send me a message through the contact page on the website and ask if I have any time to fit you in. As I mentioned, I've worked with over 1,000 non native English speaking professionals, from new graduates all the way up to CEOs and government leaders, quite possibly from companies and countries that you've heard of, to help them achieve their goals. And I look forward to meeting you. My third point is that human beings offer an accountability partner in a way that AI just can't. Think about going to the gym to work out. Let's say one day you've planned to go to the gym, but you look out the window and it's raining. In fact, it's the middle of winter, it's cold, and you've had a really difficult day at work, so you don't really feel like doing anything, especially getting into the car or walking down to the gym and working out. There's a good chance that you'll just say to yourself, "Not today. I'm just going to stay home. I'll work out another day." Now, let's add a personal trainer or maybe a friend to this scenario. You've already planned to meet them. You know that this gym session is on their schedule and they are going to be at the gym. What do you think? You're more likely to go, right? I think a lot of people find that actually having a human being waiting to help them improve their English and their professional communication skills serves the same purpose. Having someone to celebrate your success with and help you through challenging times is really important. This is someone who's going to keep you accountable and give you a real reason to keep improving and to keep getting better at English. AI is far more understanding when you abandon it at the gym or indeed on a video call. My fourth point might be the most important, and that is human connection. In my opinion, people will always be more willing to pay to spend time with a human being who is custom making a bespoke, high quality product for them. If I do an image search for a tailor, then what am I going to find? What does this word mean? Well, a tailor is someone who makes clothes. They spend time with their customer, often building a professional relationship, learning about the customer and what they want. Then they create a one of a kind product, which never existed before and will never exist again. Now, fast fashion has existed for a long time. If I want, I can walk down the street and pay $10 for a t shirt or €80 for a suit. However, there is still an industry for custom made, bespoke suits. And I think there always will be. You can say this about a lot of industries. Buses exist, for instance, but people still pay for taxis. You can shave at home, but barbers still make a living by offering hot towel shaves to people who want them. And you could just put a playlist on shuffle at your wedding, and some people do, but wedding bands still get booked for shows every single day. Now, does this mean that AI will not affect the market for English teachers? No, I'm not saying that at all. If you're an English teacher who simply offers conversation classes, offers minimal feedback and very few corrections with very little insight, and maybe you're not great at communicating the grammar points or making the session particularly interesting or enjoyable, maybe other than the fact that you're a native speaker, you're not actually adding that much more value for the person on the other side of the video call. If that sounds like you, you're that kind of English teacher, then yeah, I think you might be out of a job in the next few years. However, if you're a tailor creating beautiful suits, if you're a chauffeur giving the most seamless and enjoyable journey possible from door to door, or if you're a wedding band covering old songs in your own style, then I think that there will always be a market for what you offer. And indeed, if you're an English coach where every single session is different, the vocabulary, the grammar points, the way that you communicate ideas changes from session to session and is bespoke for everyone you talk to, then yeah, I think you might do all right. In the sessions that I offer, we go far deeper than vocabulary and grammar. We often talk about how you communicate. How can managers give feedback? How can salespeople present? How can you make sure that you're heard in a meeting? Or how can you get the job that you've applied for? And if you're not interested in talking about that, well, we talk about everything else as well. Whatever it is that you want to improve your ability to communicate about, that's what we'll talk about. And if you just want to talk about movies, music, food, travel, then yeah, we can have some pretty great sessions based around topics like this as well. Whatever it is that you're interested in. And if you want to see an example of what I do, then try this video where I analyze the English communication skills of actor and martial artist Bruce Lee. And I will see you next time. Thanks a lot, everyone. See you soon.